afternoon, everyone. In this lesson, we are going to talk about characters. We will try to analyze characters in two different stories, and we are going to do this through comparing characters' actions and characters' lessons. The first story I'm going to tell you. The second story we're going to read. The first story is about the west wind. If you did not read this story, it is about a group of animals who listened to the wind talking and a boy. The boy was sitting under the tree. It was a wonderful summer day. The weather was very good. It was warm, sunny, no clouds in the sky. The weather to go to the beach. The boy's name was Johnny Chuck. And there were some animals there, and the wind was saying, I saw something today. I saw the best thing in the world. The best thing in the world, they all were thinking in their heads, and the animals wanted to go and look for this best thing in the world. Every animal liked to eat something. Somebody liked nuts. Somebody liked chicken. Fox wanted to eat chicken. Every animal had idea what is it, the best thing in the world. So they started running around and looking and searching for the best thing in the world. It was hot. They got very tired. And guess what? They did not find anything. They did not find anything better than they already had. But the boy, he said what? I don't care about any other place than my little house and the place where I live. I have contentment. I am content with everything I have. I do not want anything better. So the animals were very tired. They returned back, did not find anything. And the lesson that the west wind wanted to teach those animals: do not look for happiness in other place, only be content and happy with what you already have. So search or look for the happiness inside yourself, inside your heart. Okay, wonderful. Now we are going to read a different story, and then we will compare and contrast these two stories with each other. This story is called, let me just show you, Me First. Me First. And it is about a witch. And that witch lived in the sand. So she was called the Sand Witch. Okay. Let's start. Pinkerton was pink, plump, and pushy. He would do anything to be first, even if it meant bouncing off bellies, stepping on snouts, or tying tails. "Me first," he cried when he had been last in line and finished first down the slide. "Me first," he cried at story time, settling on his round bottom with his big head right smack in front of the book. And every day in the school cafeteria, "Me first, me first, me first" rang out, and there was Pinkerton. One Saturday, Pinkerton's Pig Scout troop went on a day trip to the beach. Pinkerton was first on the bus and sat in the front row. He was first off the bus, first in the water, first out of the water, and first into the picnic basket. After lunch, the Pig Scouts decided to go for a hike. Off they went, with Pinkerton leading the line, of course. As the Pig Scouts marched across the sand, they heard a faint voice far in the distance. The voice called out, "Who won't care for a sandwich?" Pinkerton pricked up his pointy ears. Care for a sandwich? Oh yes, me first, he thought, and he began to trot ahead of the others. Soon he heard the voice again, closer and louder this time. "Who would care for a sandwich?" "Me first," cried Pinkerton, kicking up sand and leaving the other Pig Scouts far behind. His imagination almost burst. Peanut butter, jelly, 2 tomatoes, 7 pickles, a slab of cheese, a blob of mayo, a smear of mustard, all for me, me first. Who would care for a sandwich? Now, at a full gallop, Pinkerton shrieked, "Me first!" Over a sandy hill he flew and landed face to face with a small creature with a bump on her nose and fur on her toes. "I am glad to see you," she chuckled. "I sure could. You coming first. Me first, me first, me first. I guess you really would care for a sandwich." "Oh, yes, indeed," replied Pinkerton. He jumped up and down so fast his teeth jiggled. "Good, good, good," cackled the small creature. Pinkerton waited. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. "Well, well, well," he asked. "Well, what?" replied the small creature. "The sandwich." Where's the sandwich? The small creature curtsied. You are looking at her. She went on. I am the sandwich. And I live in the sand. And you said you would care for a sandwich, so here I am, care for me. All Pinkerton could say was, but, taking no notice, the sandwich continued. You said me first. You wanted to be the first to care for me. Well, congratulations. Now, just come along to my sandcastle. Grabbing Pinkerton firmly by the sleeve, she led him around a few bends before he could say, but I. All right, my pink, plump, pushy one. Now you care for me. You may have the honor of being the first to powder my nose and comb my toes. Seeing no way out, Pinkerton powdered her nose and combed her toes. Next, she crowed, you may be first to put my supper in a bucket and feed me with a shovel. Pinkerton looked around. He had no choice. He put her supper in a bucket and fed her with a shovel. Rubbing her tummy, the sandwich spoke again. Finally, after you had the privilege of being the first to wash my dishes, sweep my castle, do my laundry, curl my hair, tuck me in, you may be the first to tell me a bad night story. Pinkerton washed the dishes, swept the castle, did the laundry, curled the hair, tucked her in. The sandwich stretched and yawned and said loudly, now the bedtime story. I need my story. I don't know any stories. Then how about making up something? Oh, how about something concerning a pushy pig who always wanted to be first? Pinkerton sighed and began. Once upon a time, there lived a pig who always wanted to be first until one day he met a wise sandwich. Wise and beautiful, caught the sandwich. A wise and beautiful sandwich who showed him that first is not always best. Cackled the sandwich. She gave Pinkerton a slow, serious, and meaningful wink. Have you learned something? Oh, yes, I promised I have. In that case, thanks for the care. Goodbye. So what I want us to do now is to compare the two stories. First of all, who are the important teachers? In this story number 1, the west wind was a very important teacher. In the story number 2, the sandwich was a teacher. What was the lesson that the west wind was teaching in the story number 1? The lesson was, do not look for happiness in other places, but look for happiness in yourself. In the story number 2, the lesson was, do not always try to be first. Don't push around. It's not always the best thing to do. Very good. So let's compare some of the characters. What did the main character in the first story do. So let's talk about his actions. So by analyzing the character, we tell what is inside the character's mind and heart, and then we show or prove by the actions, so what the character does. So the first story shows us the character who is content. How do we see that he was content? We see that he did not want to run after happiness, but he played around in the sun by his house and was satisfied by everything he had. In the story number 2, we see the opposite personality. We see the character who wanted to be first. He was not content with the thing he had. He wanted to push everyone around. And then he learned the lesson that when you push someone around, somebody will push you. Very well. So I hope you like the story very much. I want you now to think about it, ponder about it, ponder upon it, and you will find the text in the comment down below. I want you to read the text and try to answer the questions. So if you enjoyed the lesson, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. And I am going to be publishing lessons daily without the weekends. So on the weekends, there are no lessons. But all Monday through Friday, you will be receiving a new short lessons in ESL. I would say probably intermediate ESL class. All right, thank you very much once again. Thank you. And if you have any suggestions, if there is anything you want to comment, please do in the comments down below, and I will see you tomorrow.